So, I don't know if you guys woke up feeling kind of different today. Um, I know I did for sure. I kind of had to take time yesterday to kind of get control of all these changing energies. They're really intense, huh? Um, I mean, I had started to feel the shift last Thursday or Friday. I can't remember, but yesterday it was kind of like whoa. But this morning I just woke up feeling different, and it took me like a little bit to figure out what that difference was. Like I knew there was a difference, but I wasn't quite sure what it was until like 2 hours after I woke up and was like just going on about my day. I was like, oh, it's starting to make sense now. But I woke up like feeling like heavier in some regards, but then like lighter in other regards. So it was a really kind of interesting feeling because I felt like a lot of things had been like easily released, but then when you release something, like you kind of have to deal with that release, right? And that was kind of heavy in that way. So it was kind of a really interesting change. God, that's really annoying. So sorry guys. I feel like it's always something in my video. It's like distracting in the background, and that's the coyotes. Hold on. That's where I draw the line. Okay. So yeah, it was really interesting. But what was even more interesting was like today was just kind of a weird day in general. Like I went to the store earlier and like I saw a monk going into a hardware store, and I'm like, that's so symbolic of how this day is. Like it's so weird. How often do you see a monk going in a hardware store? You're like, what is he getting? What does he need? But I feel like that's like totally representative of how this day was. Also, when I was driving to work this morning, I noticed a couple things that were purely symbolic of the shift that happened yesterday. And I can feel it for you guys too. I experienced it as well. But like what I noticed was like several tree branches of big trees had fallen off and were like blocking the street halfway. And I was like, wow, that's super symbolic of these energies. Like when a branch when something in your life gets so heavy, like remember how I've been talking about the 10 of Wands, all those burdens on her back the past several readings, and how this was going to be about like healing from releasing those. That this is so perfect, you guys. Those branches were so heavy, and the tree just like, in order to continue thriving, it like broke off. There was no storm last night or anything. Like there was no like heavy wind. It's been like 70 and partially cloudy all week here. And so even the trees like just were like, no, I don't want this burden anymore. This branch that's just like weighing me down and inhibiting my growth. It was like dropped it off, you know. And so like that was on 2 occasions, just getting to the freeway from my house. I was like, that's so symbolic of these energies. Because that's what this is all about, right? And so it's like you feel lighter for the burdens that you're releasing, but then it's also like dealing with that release that's heavy. So it's a transition. It's a transition, okay? So the reading that I wanted to do today is about that. I wanted to get more information for what issues my collective has been dealing with. I mean, obviously, just because of all the energy, it's definitely about attachment versus connection, okay? Attachments are like the heavy things that are weighing us down that inhibit growth. And when you look at a plant that like has like a weed growing next to it or something, and it's inhibiting its growth. It's like when you expend the energy to like clean out the weed and like trim and prune your bushes or whatever, it's gonna thrive, right? Because more energy can go to like the blossoms or whatever, and then like the blossoms are representative of like abundance, right, in your life, like what's meaningful and beautiful. And I had that visualization on the way to work when I woke up like feeling those energies, and then I was driving and I saw like a perfect representation of what these energies are reflected in nature. So, but just I know it's been about releasing attachments, okay, and that has to do with all the codependencies that I've been talking about for a long time now. Could be with substances, could be with toxic thought patterns within ourselves, could be within toxic patterns in our relationships, or hanging on to relationships that are no longer serving us for our highest good or their highest good. For not living outside of your comfort zone, for being stuck in the same cycles. I mean, these are all the themes, right, that have been in the readings the past several weeks. So I just wanted to do a reading to kind of look at what's been released recently, our current energies, or like how to move forward, and then what's to come next, okay? Because it's like a transition phase. So I'm going to start with I think I'm going to use these. Whoa! Avalanche. Okay. I don't know where the other one went. That's right. Okay, so this is the Situations card, or deck by Intuitive Envisions 1111. This is just like a more like on a 3D plane, just situations on a 3D plane that are representative of issues that are going on in our life. So for this reading, I felt like this deck would be appropriate. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well with all these energy shifts. Kind of crazy, huh? I noticed the anger that I was talking about with people around me, particularly like within like my family and some people at work too. And even I was getting some like weird feelings that were my own that haven't come up in a while. So it's being brought to the surface for a reason, right, you guys? It's like if it comes up, it must come out, right? It's not good to suppress it, because then it just gets stronger and you have to deal with it at some point. But yeah, if it comes up, it should be addressed. Okay. All right. So in my collective, what things have been released recently? Feeling lost. Yeah. Blocked. Cut off. Okay. Give me one more for this section. Lockbox. Closed in. Wow. Feeling closed in, trapped, and lost and cut off. Wow. This is all about transitions, guys. Wow. Okay. Let me keep going. For the next two cards, I'll get the current energies that we're in. TikTok. Time. Wow. Okay. Whoa. There's a couple here. Soulmate and love. Yeah. That's amazing. Okay. I'll go over these in a little bit. Wow. Okay. And then future energies, how we can deal with the transition and the release of things. Family. Yeah. Projected. Future. Wow. Okay. Intervention, rescue. Wow, you guys, this is amazing. Okay. So the energies that we recently released. Okay. Lockbox and lost. Look at these two cards, guys. Look how there's even an SOS on this lock. Okay. oftentimes what happens when you start to acknowledge the things that are not serving us anymore in our life, you kind of start to reevaluate and get back to your core identity. And you can have this kind of like feeling of loss, like almost like not an identity crisis per se, but like just reevaluating what things are meant to be in our life or not, or what things are inhibiting our growth, or what thought patterns are blocking our abundance, or what, you know, are these cycles serving us? Is this really what I want in my life, kind of thing. That leaves us to feel this way, guys, like closed in, trapped, frustrated, ghosted, blocked, cut off, right? Like this so like exemplifies the feelings that having those admitting those realizations and starting to work on them, you feel like this, guys. It's heavy, okay? And you're kind of like redefining what's meaningful to you, right? So there's this like sense of getting back to the basics, basically, and it can be a difficult process to remove those things in your life that are not serving you anymore. It's like a reset, right? And it's overwhelming. Feeling like trapped or locked in, like it's overwhelming. But just one thing at a time, okay? One thing at a time. If you look at everything that you have to deal with, like, oh man, I have all these wounds to heal, and I have, you know, I have all these things I have to take care of, and it becomes overwhelming. But if you just like, you know, take care of things one at a time, it becomes easier to deal with, instead of looking at it, you know, when you're stuck in the past or looking too far ahead in the future, you're not living in the present, and that's what causes anxiety and depression. That's the cause of anxiety and depression. When you think about how things used to be, or you're worried about things that are coming up, that or how things will turn out from releasing these burdens, you kind of, you know, that's where anxiety and depression stems from, you guys. Okay. So in the middle, it was kind of how to get through this transition. And the way that I take this card, TikTok, deadline, time running out, is it's temporary. Okay? In the 5D, there is no time. Time does not exist. It's a man-made concept. But in the 3D, you know, that's kind of more the reason why I wanted to use these cards. They're more in regard to the 3D. The 3D material plane. It's temporary. Okay? You will regain balance. And look at this. So this is amazing that these two cards came out together for this section in the heart. Look at this. In the heart of the reading, love and soulmate, with these hands connecting to create a heart connection, guys. Connection. These are the things that we're working on. I'm so happy. This is all about love, connection, friendship. Soulmates, you know, they come in the form of friends too. Our soul family. Certainly this can be about romantic relationships, but, you know, similar. What I was drawn to right now when I was looking at this card, similar. When I was discussing that movie that I was drawn to watch the other day, Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, I was talking about the dinner party that he was having with his friends, the last supper, their last dinner party. It's not that he didn't have anything in common with them, it's that their core values were not the same. So you can definitely have people in your soul family that are completely different from you, but their values are similar, guys. What they value as important and meaningful in their life, that's what connects you. all the other little like idiosyncrasies of their personality, it's awesome to have those aspects different, and you don't have to be the same in that regard, right? It's more about your core values being similar, right? Because if there's a relationship where one person values monogamy and the other person doesn't give a shit, it's not going to work. The core values are not the same as compared to like, well, I don't like peanut butter and you do. You know, it's that those similar things are what is meaningful and what actually allows you to connect with people. But look at this, soulmate and love in the heart of the reading. This is what we're transitioning to by releasing these feelings. This is amazing, you guys. That's why it's heavy. It's like the heart space is opening up, okay? And it's temporary. It's confusing, but it's temporary. And it will regain balance with these things. Look at this. Look at these two hands. We'll regain balance. It's just going to take some time. All right? But release attachments that are not based in this, guys. Those are those dead bushes, like inhibiting, or those weeds, like inhibiting the plant's growth, right? They need to be cleared away. That's when this can happen. Connection. Okay. And then what things to focus on going forward? So family, blood ties, inner circle. This is about building your soul family. This is about building your soul family. That's what this energy is all about. Releasing the things that are inhibiting us from doing this. This is amazing. And projected, future, days, weeks, months. Again, it's temporary, guys. These feelings, these energy shifts are temporary. We'll regain balance. Just focus on the proper things, okay? Not being stuck in the past or the future. And just building a solid foundation. And it'll happen. Your soul family will happen, okay? And if that is in regard to people already in your life, those relationships will strengthen. And the other ones may fall away. They may have already this may have already happened. Okay? And that's okay. That's good. That's when the blossoms can bloom and thrive. Okay? Overall energy is intervention, rescue, others involved. Yeah, so these astrological events were the intervention, guys. It was definitely probably made very clear to us what is attachment in our life and what is not, and what things need to be worked on. This is very clear to me that this has been shown already. All right. And a lot of this is about relationships. I was expecting more like substances and stuff to come out, but this seems mostly about like relationships. Okay, let me pull some clarifier cards. What do I want to use? Let me use this one. Mystic Mondays. And it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Yeah. Okay. But yeah, these transitions are not easy, guys. But just keep working on identifying attachment versus connection and releasing and healing. And that's what this is all about. Okay. All right, so let's clarify lockbox. King of Wands, yeah, okay. And then Lost. Nine of Cups, okay. Yeah, so basically this is the energy that I'm seeing, okay, being released. So King of Wands in reverse is about not pursuing your passions, not being courageous, not taking action on changes that you want to see in your life. And Nine of Cups is like complete emotional fulfillment on your own. This also can be with alcohol or sometimes greed. Okay? But if you look at this card from this deck that I chose to use, that's not necessarily the energy that I'm getting from it right now. It's more like we weren't living from our heart space. We weren't open to see how all of these cups, this is a very atypical Nine of Cups card, guys. Just the deck that I chose to use today is perfect for this. I feel like what we have released is not standing in our power, not acting from a place of courage or love. That was causing us to feel locked down, no way out, lost. Who are we? Who am I? Because when we wear false masks, guys, we give up a piece of our identity. Okay? And that when we're starting to take off the mask, you know, and release this, then these things can come upright. All right? So this is awesome. This is awesome if you're releasing things that were based in this energy, even like thought patterns, patterns in relationships, patterns in regards to the cycles in our life, or, you know, how we, like, not being our authentic self with people. Because when I look at this, I'm like, that's not being your authentic self. It's not coming from a place of love. It's not taking action on your passions and what's meaningful to you. This is like wearing a false mask, which is giving up your identity, and that makes perfect sense with what's being released. It's awesome. It's good news, actually, because we want these upright, right? Okay. So those are really awesome clarifier cards for that. And it makes sense with the energies that I was feeling, of like feeling lighter from releasing, you know, these, but then also heavy because we're working on this. It's work, guys. It's work. Okay. I always get hot when I channel or tap into energy. I get like, whew. Okay. So in the center, that's how we're transitioning. And let's pull one for TikTok time. It's temporary, guys. The Star. Yeah, okay. So the energies from this full moon, okay, it's temporary. It's gonna pass, it's gonna heal. Also, this full moon was in Aquarius. This is the card of Aquarius. Look at these colors, guys. They're all the colors of healing. They're the colors of healing. Particularly our heart space and our throat chakra. Communication and opening up to a place of love and connection. Healing the heart and throat chakras. Also, the full moon was just in Aquarius, guys. The Star card. Healing at the heart of the freaking reading. Like, you can't make this stuff up, guys. You can't. This is freaking amazing. Wow. Just from the deck that I chose to use today. Wow. Healing the heart and throat chakra in the heart of the reading with the full moon in Aquarius that we just had in Leo season. Passion, courage. You guys, this is wow. Wow. So it's temporary. It's difficult right now, okay? Opening up to this is difficult, but it's gonna pass, guys. It's gonna pass. Just keep working at it. This is freaking insane. I love it. I love it. Okay, wow. All right, let's get another one. Ace of Pentacles. A gift from the universe. Brand new, solid, stable foundation. What was I discussing? Literally, the words that I used was building a solid foundation when I was describing these cards. That's what the meaning of this, you guys. Holy shit. I mean, this is like healing for a solid new beginning from your heart space for connection. Wow. Wow, you guys. Wow. Wow. I'm speechless. Like, these readings just blow my mind. When the clarifier cards come out and back up all the things that I was saying, like in the intro, and then when describing the initial cards are on the table, and the clarifier cards just like back it up, I'm just like you can't make this up. There's 78 cards in a tarot deck. What are the chances of these two coming out in the middle, in the heart of the reading, with what I was talking about? It doesn't, you guys, like, it's so improbable. Like, you can tell, right? You can tell the energy through the cards and what I'm saying, and then the cards come out. Like, you can't fake that, you guys. Wow. Okay. So let's do future. Forgot my question was in that space. Oh boy. What to focus on next, I think? Okay. 5 of Wands, reducing conflict. All right. And Knight of Swords. Yeah. Okay. So this is upside down, okay? Because 5 of Wands upright is about opposing viewpoints. And upside down, it's like working on inner conflict. Well, actually, this message can be taken in both ways. Half of the message is upright and half of the message is in reverse. 5 of Wands is about drama, okay? As I was saying, you'll see who's in your soul family. There may be some drama around that we'll have to deal with by realizing and releasing who's not, who doesn't have our best interest in mind, guys. But also, it is good to have opposing viewpoints, like I was saying, as long as your core values for your soul family are similar. That's what brings connection, okay? But also, releasing or working on healing that inner conflict, and it'll have a reflection in your external environment projected. It'll have a reflection in your external environment once you release or start working on releasing that inner conflict as well. Because you'll see, okay? You'll see who has your back, truly, who really wants to see you thrive and was just inhibiting growth. And those relationships will become closer. And the other ones, there's going to be drama and some falling out. That's expected. That's what's expected in the near future. And that space was for the future. And look at future. Days, weeks, months. It could be in the next couple months. It could be yesterday. Because this is just an energy, right? But this was like post full moon energy. So it may have been revealed to you recently, the path that is next, the next steps to take in your life. And it may cause some conflict, both inner conflict and external, but work on that inner conflict, guys, and it'll be reflected into your environment. But it could be, within the next couple days, weeks, months, but this spot was literally about what's coming next, and this card is projected in the future. Family, ties, bonds, those things will strengthen if we do this, okay? I mean, I can tell it's already happening. I can tell. But this just confirms it, because the other clarifier card was the Knight of Swords. Sorry. I don't know what's going on every time we do these readings. Like, it just goes along with this, right? Like the heart space and the throat, just like where I feel all you guys' energy right now. Knight of Swords, look at these colors too. How they match, right? Not all the cards are like that, okay? But in regards to this, the star, healing at the heart of the reading, it's very similar energies right now. And Knight of Swords is about quick action with clarity and truth. Cutting things out that are not meant to be in our life, that there's no connection. It may cause some drama, but it will pass. It will pass. Okay, remember, this is temporary. Okay, we're in a transition stage. That was in the middle too, TikTok. We're in a transition stage. All right. But it's going to become very, very clear to us which relationships are going to grow closer, and then which ones are just going to have drama, because we're standing in our power and starting to communicate our needs as a person, what we need to thrive from our heart space. And it's time to cut that out, guys. All right? Cut out the relationships that are inhibiting growth, not serving us anymore. That's projected very soon. Okay? Because once I mean, look at all these cards in the middle, guys. We're healing our heart space and working on communication for a solid new beginning based in love and connection. Okay? We just released the feelings that were keeping us stuck there. We've just released the feelings that were keeping us stuck in that energy. Okay? And now we're healing and working on a solid foundation. The next step is it's going to be reflected in our, we're going to see. We're going to see. Okay? The attachments versus connections, and what needs to, it's clarity, it's truth. It's cutting out things that, it's swift action. It's going to become very clear to us who has our back, who wants to see us thrive. All right. That's coming in the future. Okay, just to let you guys know. So, wow. Okay. So overall energy at the bottom of this deck was intervention. That's basically what these astrological events were about, and particularly the new moon that we just had in Cancer. We were gonna those energies were like 2 weeks ago, I think. Those energies were gonna cause us to be stuck in this like Five of Pentacles energy, like feeling left out in the cold, like no one's hearing us, like the world's against us. Okay, this full moon in Aquarius that we just had in Leo season was the intervention. That was the intervention. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that was showing us what needs to be released, what's blocking us. Okay? Not living from your heart space, not pursuing your passions from a lack of courage. That's being released, or has been recently. This is in the past section. But again, it's just an energy. So for everyone, it's going to be a little different. It may have happened several days ago. It may have happened yesterday. It may be happening today. It may even happen tomorrow. But it's like a past. It's leaving. Okay. Which is good, because this energy is not fun when you're feeling left out. And look at that. Look at that. Lockbox and lost. Okay. Lockbox. That's kind of a tongue twister. Lockbox and lost. That's like this. Feeling left out in the cold. Feeling like no one's there for you. Feeling alone, like the world's against you. That is what these astrological events are intervening on. To notice what is keeping us in this energy in our life. Because that's not thriving. Five of Pentacles is not thriving at all. So it's the intervention, guys. It's the divine intervention. Okay? So yeah, this is amazing. I'm gonna pull one oracle card. But just to give you guys a heads up, this drama with people, it's gonna happen, but it'll be good, because it's gonna give us truth and clarity about what we need to take action on, and what attachments we need to release in regards to our true soul family. And those bonds will get stronger, which is the awesome thing. That's what we want, right? To cut out the dead weeds so that we can thrive and have abundance. And this is like kind of perfect for how the energy was this morning when I woke up. I was like, there was a big shift, and like I feel lighter, like things were released, but then dealing with like the transition energies, it's tough, guys. It's tough. But it's temporary, remember? Okay. Heart of the reading. Healing the heart and throat chakra for a solid new foundation in love and connection. Wow, you guys, I'm still blown away at that middle part. Okay, so let's do good old map work. I don't know why I just love this deck so much. Okay. Let's do one oracle card for advice for what's to come with these transition energies for the collective. Flying. I love it. Holy, oh my God. Okay. Wow, you guys. So the 20th card in the deck, that was one of the first things I was drawn to. Second of all, it's the year of 2020, clear vision. Clearing away the attachments so that we can thrive. Flying. Look at this. Feeling lighter, releasing. Could this card be any more perfect for this reading? Wow. Wow. That's what this was all about. That's what this reading was about. It was about what we've just released, the transition phase, and what's to come. It's so that this, guys, so that we can thrive. Even the trees were doing it this morning for no reason. Like we did not have a storm last night, and the trees were like, this big ass branch is holding back my growth, and it needs to go. That was on 2 separate streets, guys. Big branches like took up half the road for no reason. That's what this is. That's what this is. The year of 2020. Clear vision so that we can thrive, guys. Wow. And 49. Just because me and the universe have sick inside jokes with synchronicities, that's 13, which is the death and rebirth card in tarot. Transformation. Having the knowledge to know, to pursue our path and to pursue our life path, and gaining that orb is like represents wisdom and knowledge, like lessons that we've learned, right? Lessons that we learned from things that we have been releasing that have been holding us back. That have been holding us back in this 5 of Pentacles energy, just feeling left out of life, left out in our relationships. Whatever the case. Okay, this is amazing. These oracle cards are amazing. This is why I love this deck. I'm just really like energetically connected to it, and it always just has amazing messages. But this is perfect. This is where we are. We're in a transition, learning the lessons, taking that knowledge with us on the next part of our journey. Transition. That's what this is. Okay? And just keep working on releasing attachments and basing our decisions from our, communicating what is needed from our heart space to work on connection, guys, with our soul family. Okay? Awesome reading. I love it. All right, I hope you guys have a good day. I will talk to you next time.